fuck, I love reindeer. I wanna fuck a big titty fucking hot ass reindeer so fucking bad, dude. You know? No? Well, you're gonna think the same, okay? After you see the shit this game has up its sleeve, okay? You're gonna feel the same fucking way, bro. Believe you me, brother. Believe you me. This is quite the intro to the video, but it'll all make sense in the end. I just thought that a game this weird and this out of pocket deserved this treatment, honestly, and it will make you like this too. So I don't even know where to begin exactly, honestly. Like, I found out about this game through such a roundabout way. I first heard of the sequel, The Quivering, which I don't remember how I found out about this. I think it was like in an old gaming magazine ad. And then I was gonna make a video on Quivering. And then I was just randomly looking at the Wikipedia article, and then it said The Quivering, also known as Spud 2. And I was like, Spud 2? What the fuck is Spud 1? And here it is, here's Spud 1. I wish I didn't know about this game, in a way. But also, I'm really glad I know about it, because it's out there. It's a crazy, wacky little point-and-click game for the MS-DOS. It's on Steam. And I bought it. I don't know what that pause was. It's on Steam. I bought it. I played it. I'm making a video on it. What a concept. What a novel idea. I know. Man, I've done this like so many times now. What's the point? You know? What's the fucking point? How many ways can I find a way to just lead into yapping about the game the exact same way, you know? What's the point? Well, anyways, on to Spud. So Spud was released in 1996 for the MS-DOS by Carib. Who cares? You know, who fucking cares? Like, you don't care about the background. Nah, I'm kidding. Maybe you do. But I do care, but there's not much to say. Like, I know in this segment I would usually put the fucking Power Wash Simulator 2 gameplay behind me while I yap about just the tiny little blurb of background of the developers, but there's nothing. It's an English studio called Charybdis Software, which fucking badass name and badass logo. But they made 4 games and then they just went defunct, right? And that's it. That's the full story. 2 of those 4 games are Spud and Quivering. Not many YouTubers would pre-skip the video for you like I did, okay? I saved you 20 seconds here. So why don't you like and subscribe here? Thank you. So as soon as you launch the game, the opening cutscene plays, and it's a weird one. It starts with Spud just walking up to Santa's workshop on the North Pole. We have no idea how he got to the North Pole or how he knows where the workshop is, but we're here. And then inside you stumble onto this like gnome guy, and it turns out it's a little robot, and this whole cutscene is a Star Wars A New Hope reference. The gnome displays a projection of Santa begging for Spud to help him. Turns out he's been kidnapped by Dr. Chilbane, and he needs your help to save Santa and Christmas and all of the world, apparently, because Dr. Chilbane wants to use the power of toy making to destroy the entire world. And then the gnome pulls out this like magical cube and jumps into it and tells you that you need to learn the power of the cube in order to save Santa. And that's when the game begins. So this game features super look around vision, which is to say the game is like a classic point and click game, but you can look around in full 360. It's pretty neat, honestly. So I immediately go outside and start exploring, and oh my god, why is it this slow? This can't be, right? I can't play through the whole game this slow. No, hold on, I gotta look into this.
2 hours later.
Okay, that's much better. A huge shout out for TechDweeb on YouTube for making both a really cool version of the DOSBox emulator and a really nice tutorial on how to run DOSBox games through his Dweeb DOS emulator. It's really nice. Because the native Steam version was painfully slow, dude. This is just chef's kiss. This is perfect. Anyways, back to exploring. So I just started going deeper into the workshop and oh my god! What the fuck? This is a massacre. And the music. Jesus Christ. This room is horrifying, dude. This is a bloodbath. This is a murder scene. Generally playing it now, I felt, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I was shitting my pants. But like, he was like, is this a horror game? Like, is this a dark twist game? It's not. For the most part, it's a goofy little kid's Christmas adventure, but then it has like these bizarre, terrifying moments here and there. Like, I mean, it's not terrifying, you know. I don't want to Mr. Beastify like, I found the most terrifying MS-DOS game ever, you know. It's not that horrific, but it's pretty like jarring, like whoa. But yeah, I just loot the dead gnomes, I guess, and carry on. So in order to get to Santa, I have to gather up all of the reindeer so I can take the sleigh to where Santa is held captive. So the reindeer that we need to recruit are Who Cares, Who Gives a Shit, and whoa. Whoa.
Why, Spud, who else could give a girl a hot flush on a cold night like this? Oh, Spud, I thought it was your grandpa again. See you later at the sleigh, honey.
Now you get my reindeer horniness, okay? It's not me. This game implanted this in me. And I think one of the fucking game devs have to have an agenda. He was a furry and he wanted to convert everyone else to be a furry. This is some crazy level of horniness. And also, canonically, Santa Claus fucks that babe, reindeer babe, right? Like that's, she said like, oh, I was expecting Santa in the shower. Oh yeah, and the fourth reindeer is actually like a little reindeer floaty. And I guess this is a good time as any to explain how the inventory system works in this game. So the cube that you got from Santa is actually a pocket dimension. And in it is a little workshop. And every item that you collect in the real world gets transported to this little cube. And then from the little shelves, you can pick up the items and then just interact with the world. You can also combine items at the little workbench. And you can even save and load from this pocket dimension. Also, every toy rabbit and gnome that you collect gets transported to this cube. They have a bunch of uses throughout the game, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So once we recruit all of the reindeer, we go to the sleigh and take off. South Pole, here we go! Except we're shot down and we crash land. The objective for this area is to somehow scrounge up $10 in order to rent the paddle boat from the weird pothead Jamaican bunny guy. This whole area is like a whole string of classic 90s point-and-click shenanigans in order to get the $10 bill. It's really cute, but I'm just gonna kind of speed run through it here, right? So first we grab the bag of sand from Indiana Penguin and then head into the cave that he was sitting next to. Inside the cave is just a gauntlet of gruesome deaths. Honestly, just crazy brutal death after crazy brutal death if you don't know what you're doing. I just gotta say, dude, thank God for game guides. So to get by the first trap, we combine a gnome with a unicycle, and that's what gnomes are for. You just combine them with certain items to get a unique gnome. Unique gnome in unique New York. We sacrifice the unicycle gnome, then we combine another gnome with a toolbox, and then it builds a bridge for us. And then we reach the 8 trap steps, and the way you find out the correct combination is by using the little bunnies as sacrifices. That's the point of the bunnies. You just kind of like throw them at things you don't know what they do. So instead of you dying to a thing in the game, the bunnies die to the thing in a game. Very, very awesome. But yeah, through trial and error, you make it across, and then you do the Indiana Jones thing. We have to switch out this bag of sand with the trumpet. Even though we do that, the temple starts collapsing, so you have to really quickly just like go back out of the cave. After we got the trumpet, we go to the 3 orangutans that are just hanging out on the island. We combine another gnome with the trumpet, and then we entertain the orangutans with the trumpet gnome so we can take the banana from them. Then we take the banana to the other side of the island to a toll booth that only accepts bananas. We go through the toll booth, we pick up the drill on the ground and take the bottle of rum from Cheeky the monkey. Then we go to the island oddities store and give the rum to the bird, who will then give us a look at his treasure map. And then we have to go to that location on the island and use a drill gnome to dig out the treasure. And inside the treasure we find an IOU note for $10. And then we take that note back to the monkey, who then gives us $10. And then we can paddle on out of here. Oh, also, the rabbit says that all the other reindeer fucking died in a crash. He just used it as a throwaway line, so rip fucking hot ass bimbo reindeer, you will be missed. And that's the end of Act 1 and the CD1. At the very end, like after we paddle on to the sunset, we get the password for CD2. First of all, it's weird that you can like look around this password zone. It's very VR in a way, right? It reminds me of a main menu of a VR game where just the one side is the menu, then everything else is the void. And the neat thing about the password is JX is always the same, and then the other two letters are just indicators of how many bunnies and gnomes you have on your person right now. So the optimal password will actually be JXFF, because then you would have the max amount of bunnies and gnomes on hand when you load up in CD2. That's a little pro tip for any spud players out there. Oh, also another cool thing, if you go into the little workshop pocket dimension while in here, you'll kind of bug out the game because you end up in this like weird lights turned off version of the cube and you can't go back out, so you're just stuck here. Okay, on to Act 2 now for reals. Act 2. Here we are. The South Pole. And this is again just a cavalcade of crazy point and click shenanigans. Who would have thunk that a point and click game would be full of point and click shenanigans? Really makes you think. First we need to get a pair of tennis rackets so we can use them in snowshoes, so we can safely cross this next like snow section, and then we come across two guard polar bears, so we have to kill them. We go back and then just push a snowball onto them that will just trample them, and now we can progress. We make our way to like this penguin city, but we're trespassing, so the penguin police are after us, and you just have to kind of like evade them for a while until you get to a helmet that you put on super quick, so that when they inevitably hit you with a baseball bat, you don't die from the impact, but you just pass out, and then they take you to a prison cell. So we share the prison cell with a carpenter and a walrus. The carpenter has this weird bit where he's just narrating everything, and that annoys everyone else. Then the walrus is in prison because he ate an oyster, and then he gives us a key to his shack for some reason. The walrus's dialogue was like very muffled, so I didn't really catch most of what the fuck he was saying. But then we're taken to the Emperor Penguin, and he makes no sense because, like, you know, Emperor Penguin, and he's dressed like a Roman emperor. But then when he starts talking, it's like a whole mob boss bit, and like, why do two of these bits? You just pick a lane. What is this combination? Roman emperor mob boss. I feel like Roman emperor is a funny enough bit. This is just confusing at this point. Anyways, he tells us that his child has been kidnapped, and in exchange for our freedom, we have to go to the orc mines and rescue his kid. You know, we don't really have a choice, so we do that. So you just kind of bumble around these mines, and if you come across an orc, you have to run immediately, otherwise he's just gonna beat the shit out of you. I just kind of keep progressing through the mine until I stumbled onto this drunk guard who just kept saying, let's have ourselves a little party. Apparently that means that I need to use a Christmas cracker on him. He then drops a paper hat, and then you pick it up, keep going until you stumble onto a large sleeping guard, and then you can't just sneak up to him and take the key. You have to create a paper hat gnome who will then steal the key. Why is a paper hat gnome a better stealth person than Spud? How does a paper hat make you more stealthy? I don't get it. Then you use that key on a locked door, and inside it are two guards guarding the Emperor's kid, which is like a literal penguin egg. You sneak around the guards, pick up the egg, and then deliver it back to the Emperor. And now he allows us to go anywhere in the village. Then next is again just a bunch of, you know, point and click moments. There's this one funny moment with a nerdy penguin that I really like.
Say, do you do NutraSweet? What about those bears, huh? Say, did you know your hat's on backwards? Gee, I guess I really am a boring little nerd.
You just end up doing like a bunch of random shit in order to create a timed bomb that you use on like a serpent guarding the fortress entrance. And I think this serpent thing is literally like the Charybdis from the company logo, which is neat. That's neat. I like that. But yeah, once you fucking kill the damn thing, we can enter the fortress, and this is the last section of the game. Woo! Dude, this fortress is weird. So the gates to the fortress are blocked by these two reindeer guys, and you have to put a mistletoe above them in order to get them to fucking make out with each other. They just get distracted and just go to a corner to just have a crazy makeout session. That's how you progress forward. This game is so weirdly horny, dude. Damn, these reindeers gay. Good for them though. Good for them. Once again, proving my point that there's a fucking furry agenda man among the game devs. I'm not saying he should be executed or something, but like, I see you. I see the agenda you're pushing. Good job, I guess. Good job on making a hot reindeer. All right. I'm talking about the babe, okay? I'm talking about the babe. Although, unsurprisingly, the fortress is just a hellhole. It's just full of reindeer that want to kill you. Why don't they work for Santa? That's a bit odd. Maybe they just got sick of hearing Santa and the hot reindeer just bang the shit out of each other, right? The whole fortress is just full of murderous reindeer, robots that want to kill you. Oh, and also there's like a weird knockoff Santa that's imprisoned in one of the rooms, and you have to bring him a game pixie to entertain him, and he gives you a key. Honestly, I don't even remember how many fucking crazy things I had to do in the fortress, so sorry if this isn't like a one-to-one retelling of the Spud experience. It was just a lot. Another notable part is this one guard that has the hots for the inflatable reindeer. Like, that's how you get past him. You just float up the reindeer and he just ends up just flirting with him the entire time, and you can just walk past him. So horny, man. You even got fucking inflation kinks up in this game. Crazy. But yeah, after a gauntlet of bullshit, we're finally face to face with Dr. Chillblaine, and we have a fucking toy off. It's literally like a toy crafting fight. Once again, thank God for game guides, because this is just pure trial and error. It's basically like rock, paper, scissors. When he throws out a toy, I have to deploy a specific toy. But the only way to know which toy is effective against which toy is, I don't know, just guess. It doesn't make sense, right? It's just like nonsensical, wacky bullshit. For example, when he shoots out a mutant teddy, you have to make a slinky. When he sends out a jet plane, you have to make a tank. That one makes sense. But when he sends out a tank, you have to make a doll, right? And then you finally defeat Dr. Chillblaine, and the final cutscene plays.
What? No, wait! Best out of 10, eh? Come on, give it off for a break! No, it's not supposed to end like this! I can't lose! No! No!
Well done, Spud. Thanks to you, the boys and girls will be getting their toys. By the way, what have you done with all the fluffy bunnies and little gnomes I left behind in the house? Spud? Spud?
Yahoo!
Hooray! You did it, Spud. You are the hero of ages. That's it. That's Spud, you know? I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Well, I do. There's a couple of minutes left in the video, so I do have some things to say. Not much though, just, you know, the typical closing arguments. It's so weird. It's so weird in so many different ways, right? First of all, the look around the vision is what an interesting mechanic. I kind of like it. Like, I feel like someone could make a VR port of this game. It would be an absolute nightmarish reality, virtual reality, but it's definitely possible, right? Then like, obviously the weird sexual parts, the weird gory parts, then the fact that like the beginning and end are very, very, very Christmassy. Very obvious it's a Christmas game, but then there's just like a tropical pirate adventure in the middle, which is not Christmassy at all. It does make sense because, you know, he's going from pole to pole, but still just like, huh, you know? I had a lot of fun because I had a guide. If I didn't have a guide, I would be really, really frustrated at some of these puzzles. Like, I wasn't using it for every single puzzle, the guide. It was just like when I couldn't figure it out in 5 minutes, I would be like, okay, it's not something that I just need to sit and think, like, that I can logically figure out. It's some like random 90s point and click bullshittery, right? And it is a game that is chock full of point and click bullshittery, but that's what makes it so fun in a goofy way. And so bizarre. Like, I can't wait to play the Quivering. And I kind of do like how, like, Spud is a Christmas game and Quivering is a Halloween game. I wonder if the studio didn't shut down, if they would make, like, I don't know, an Easter game, I don't know, Thanksgiving. Oh, they could go back to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu.
That's right. We're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu.
That'd be sick. I would play the shit out of that game. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, print out my picture, do a cum tribute, send me a photo of your cum tribute, and I'll do a cum tribute to that cum tribute, and we can do like a cumfinity tribute. That'd be awesome. I don't. I don't think I should have said that. I don't think I'm gonna keep that in. That was bad.